All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about domain and range for what's called a discrete set of points, meaning they're separate points, not a continuous line. So you see there's 5 points on this graph in the upper right-hand corner. When we get something like that, we're going to identify the distinct points in the domain and in the range, not a spread of points. So to recap what domain means, domain is the input of a function, or we can call it the x values for each of the points. And then when we get to range, our range is our y values or our output of a function. So essentially for each point that we have, like this furthest left point, the x value, the input is -2 and the output is +1, and it creates that ordered pair -2, 1. We don't know what the function is, but it creates that ordered pair. And so all we do for this, they already have the brackets set up for us. We just have to list the numbers in our domain. And there are 5 of them because there are 5 points, each of which have a different x value. So we look at these x values. This x value right here is -2 for the furthest left point. So we're just going to list that, put a comma. We're going to list the next x value, which is -1 right here. Then we're going to list the next x value right here, which is 0. And we have an x value right here of 2. We have an x value at the furthest right point right here is an x value of 4. We type those in. -2, comma, -1, comma, 0, comma, 2, comma, 4. We hit enter. The brackets are already there. It says, well done. Nice work. And we move on and we get the range. Now it's asking for the range. So remember, each point has an x and a y value. Well, we just used all the x values, so now we need to use all the y values for our range. And so the range, we look at how much up and down we're moving. And so all of these points right here have the same y value because they move the same distance above the x-axis, and that distance is 1. Okay, so that's going to, we don't need to list it 4 times. We just list, hey, we've got a y value of 1. And then this furthest right point moved up. This is my 0, y value of 0, 1, 2. So we have 1 and 2 are the values for my range of those 5 points. 1 occurs 4 times, and then 2 is separate. So 1, 1, 1, 1, sorry, don't actually have to do that. We don't have to list them, that's what I said. 1, 2 is all we have to do, even though the 1 repeats 4 times. We hit enter, and then we're done there. All right, I hope this helps. Good luck on your problems. Actually, there's one more. So the definition of a function is where each input only has one unique output. And so each of these inputs have only one output, and so it is a function. If you ran into something where you had a -2 for the input and it had 2 different points where it was output of 1 and you had an output of 2, something like this where you had 2 points. If you ran into something like a graph here, I'll graph 2 points. This furthest left point here has an input of -2 and an output of 1, and it also has another point up here where its input is -2 and an output of 3. That would make it not a function because you have these 2 y values for a single x value there. That would make it not a function. But since each x value has a unique y value associated with it, it is a function. So, hope it helps. Good luck and keep sending me problems.